Y'all, it's time for happy hour. The sunny weather is back. Wednesday's over, y'all. Hump day is over. It's time for happy hour. Get something in your glass. Hop into the comments. Let us know where you are. What are you drinking? You guys know the drill. Time to celebrate the end of Wednesday. Sounds like a good thing to me. So let's jump right in, guys. We're on the backside of the week. Everything's downhill from here. Not a lullaby. That's right, Bill. Zach Brown Band, indeed. Brian, what is up? Good to see you. Tiffany, 8 bottles of the collaboration wine for Mother's Day. Heck yeah, you scored that. We're going to talk about the day. You can't even get that on our website anymore. You have to go to like H-E-B or Twin Liquors or a restaurant partner. Good on you. Happy hour indeed, Anthony. We're going to jump right in, if you know. Not a lullaby. I'm so happy the sun is back, y'all. I can only stand so many cloudy, rainy days where I have a hard time getting out of the house. So I am stoked that it is, like 88 degrees right now. Feels like summer is on its way. I'm in a great mood because Wednesday's over. Hump day is done. We can be on the downside towards the weekend, guys, already. Y'all know what to do. Get something in your glass. Let us know where you are and what you're enjoying. If you're a first timer, 3 stars in the comments. We want to shout you out. Cheers to all of you out there. It's so good to see you again. This makes me want to be on the beach singing karaoke, drinking cold beer. Not gonna lie. All right, guys, let's jump right in. It's a happy hour. I have one very amazing William Chris team member joining me today. So she's gonna say hi. Savannah, what is up, friend?
Hello.
Where are you located today, and what is in your glass, ma'am?
All right, so I am located in the wonderful city of Dripping Springs, which is my new home. So I'm no longer in Austinite, but I am drinking Sway Rosé, and I put it in a glass.
Wait, hold on. Let's refresh that. You put a canned rosé into a glass.
Yes, I had my glass out, and I put it in there. But, here we are. It's Wednesday. It's wine.
Hey, cheers to that, friend.
Cheers.
Good to see your face. I mean, no shame. I was drinking a beer from Lazarus Brewing with dinner last night. I put my 12-ounce can beer into a wine glass. So
it's Wednesday, who cares?
There's no judgment here. You get the liquid goodness into your body and enjoy it as you see fit. And you can smell it better. I mean, even beer, yeah, like even canned rosé deserves to be smelled, and so does good craft beer. So I'm all about putting good craft beer in a wine glass, so I get the full aromatic profile. I'm into that. Also, I had no idea you were in Dripping now. What happened?
So I moved on Mother's Day. My mom's a trooper and helped me, so bless her.
Wait, your mom did work for you on Mother's Day?
Yeah, but cooked her dinner, got her dessert, brought her flowers, wine, whole thing. But yeah, moved Mother's Day weekend. Now I'm back in my hometown, so I'm not too far from you, D. I'm just about 25 minutes, so no worries.
I know. I know exactly how many minutes it takes me to get to that Chick-fil-A, so don't you worry. I got those times down. All the drives I make out to high. So, Hey, Ben, thank you so much for being here. I am going to bring you back up so you can ask all kinds of really smart questions at the end of the Wine Nerd section. So we'll check back in with you in a little bit. So cheers. Happy hour.
Cheers, y'all.
Y'all, let's see who else is in the house today. Chris Robinson in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Well, you got another Florida person. I love it. Crystal, good to see you. Drinking Fireman's for Blonde in Lakeway. Eric and Asha checking in San Antonio, having some hazy IPA and some high quality H2O. Catherine Flanagan in San Antonio, having some vodka. Jeff and Kimberly, what is up in Round Rock, drinking a 2010 Enchante. Wow, y'all are going to have to let me know how that is. That's a 10-year-old Enchante. That's pretty stinking cool. The same year that we opened the highest state to the public. Paul, what is up? Drinking 500 Block Merlot. Lisa with 2017 Enchante and High. Got a good crew today. Love seeing all these names. Reed, hi from Austin. Deb, let's see. Johnson 2017 Artist Blend. I like it. Alta in Frisco. No golden ticket for you. Daddy, I want a golden egg. Guys, I love that movie. Sorry, no trademark issues here. There are still golden tickets out there. We'll talk about that at the end, so stay tuned. There are still golden tickets to be had. But let's jump in, like the song, right? Jump right in. What is up, Leah? Good to see you there. You got to figure out what to drink, though. I'm going to tell you maybe some Alta Loma Sangio, but this Skeleton Key White is surprising me. I'm not going to lie. So I gave that up, guys. What I am drinking here, Skeleton Key Proprietor White. All right. This is from 2019. It is delicious. This is mostly a Roussanne-based blend. Because it is a proprietor's blend, we don't give away all of our secrets. So we're not going to tell you the full blend, but no, it is mostly Roussanne. Y'all know about our Skeleton Key label. We have a red, we have a Cabernet Sauvignon, we have a white. I might have heard rumors about a pink wine. There's a rosé maybe in the works. Sorry you didn't hear that because my mouth was covered. There might be some more exciting Skeleton Key news coming in the very near future. Not giving away anything. Don't want to steal the thunder of my marketing friends who are here with us. Y'all, let's talk about Skeleton Key White. First of all, you need to know that this is a project that William Chris did that we wanted to be able to work with even more grapes and support even more Texas farmers. And they are always blends, with the exception of the Cabernet Sauvignon. That was a cab. 100% right through. Okay. This is a blend, as is the Skeleton Key Red, mostly Roussanne, and it shows up with a lot of Roussanne notes. So for me, that you get a little bit of that passion fruit, maybe a little bit of white flower. Yeah, a little bit of oak profile here. So it has a buttery kind of note to it, but still refreshing. There's still acid here. So for me on the palate, I start to get that lime note. So think about the profile of our Roussanne, maybe a little bigger wine, a little broader on the palate. So it's softer in the mouth, easier to drink, not as acidic as our Roussanne can be. This is for those folks that like a little bit more oaked white wines, a little more full-bodied white wines. You're not necessarily looking for crisp and refreshing. You want medium to full-bodied white. And actually, this is a little bit of a preview because tomorrow my friend Molly from Houston at Papa Brothers Steakhouse is going to be with us talking about how she likes big whites and she cannot lie. So this is in that direction. We're going to be, this is like more I would say medium to medium plus bodied. It's been 12 months in oak. So what that oak does is a lot of times it allows malolactic fermentation or malolactic conversion. It's a very nerdy wine term that basically means you have that green apple acid, the malic acid, that converts into lactic acid, which lactic acid is that same acid that you see in yogurt and cream and milk. And so the texture is different. The crispness and harshness comes down, and you just get a more pleasurable, easy, more, I would say maybe more food friendly in some respects. So here I'm thinking about like roasted chicken. For those of you out in the world that love them some pate, I am one of those people. This would be an amazing wine with pate, and Thai food. A lot of times people go with Riesling for Thai food, which is a good pair. But a lot of times you have these bigger, fuller bodied white wines, and that texture goes really well with those spices and almost like a butter flavor, a butter note to it. This isn't like a butter Chardonnay, so don't go too far there, but it's got a little bit of that creaminess in the texture side, and I think would go really well with a lot of the bright flavors that are in Thai food. Again, this is the section of the episode that always makes me really hungry and makes me need to move on because all I can think about is what I'm going to eat tonight. Speaking of, last night I went to Suerte because y'all know we had Celia on Monday and they kicked off the to-go tacos. Holy mother of to-go food. That stuff was so good. Guys, you're stuck with me today. thought about it, and I miss being able to teach you my wine nerd section. And so we are going to go full wine nerd today. D is going to teach. So you got Professor D in the house. My former students, because y'all know as a high school math teacher, my former students, because my last name is Thompson, called me Mr. T. You know, like I Pity the Fool. Y'all remember that show? Surely y'all remember that reference. So I missed being able to teach you myself. And so today we're going to talk about the wines of Greece. And oh man, there's so much that we could talk about with Greece, just because I feel like a lot of us don't have the exposure. There's a ton of different subregions. Greece is a very big country. Speaking of which, let me bring up this Gigantor map, guys. So you'll notice Greece is really spread out. And so way down there in southern Greece, the island of Crete is actually closer to North Africa than it is to mainland Greece. And so you can imagine that Crete is very different in climate and what kinds of grapes they grow there and what the winemaking is compared to the wines of northern Greece, which is close to Macedonia. And so, man, we could spend so long talking about that. So in thinking about today's wine nerd section and wanting to keep it bite-sized so that you can walk away remembering something, we're going to talk about one red grape, one white grape, and we're going to talk about this really cool vine training system for that white grape. So red grape, white grape, and a cool vine training system that really isn't seen anywhere else in the world. Okay, so y'all ready for some uber nerdy wine nerdery? Okay, so first up, you're seeing the map, and I'm going to pop over to the map on my tab, and I'm going to zoom in first to the region in northern Greece. Can y'all see the region called Naousa? I'm going to say that one more time. Naousa. And now, if you're Greek and you think that I'm mispronouncing that, you're probably right. I'm doing my best. If you have a pronunciation that's different, I apologize. The way that I have been taught and learned it is Naousa. Okay. I am going to throw the name of this red grape as well as a pronunciation guide. So you guys know, while I'm talking about this, I would love your questions. We're going to be talking about Greek wine. So if you have Greek wine questions or anything related to what I'm talking about, feel free to pop those in the comments. But I'm going to be putting things up on the screen so you can learn them. So let's all look at this name of this red grape we're going to learn today. So the first thing we're going to learn is a red grape. Naousa, okay, is the name of the region. But the grape variety is called Xinomavro. Okay, we're going to try that again. Xinomavro. All right. It's spelled with an X. The emphasis is on the mauve part of the word. So Xinomavro is a red grape. Now, Naousa is probably the most famous, most respected region for this grape variety. You know, I think the first thing, of course, that you want to know is, what does it taste like? Because let's be honest, that's what we're all about in wine. What does it smell like and taste like? What's my experience with it in my mouth? What kind of pleasure am I going to get? Okay. So this is where we start to talk about things like red fruit. So that's pretty typical of a red grape, right? We got some like raspberry notes, but then everything else I'm going to tell you is not so fruit driven. And that's actually one of the things I want you to learn about Xinomavro, is that this is not a super fruity grape. Okay, it does have notes of raspberry, but then we're talking about things like tomato and olive and tobacco. And they typically oak these wines because they are very high in tannin, very high in acid. And so you also get some spice from the oak aging. With a lot of tannin, remember that's that grippy stuff in our mouth. With all that tannin and all of that acidity, then you run into things like, oh, we have to let it age, okay? These are not wines you want to have young. They are not fresh, easy wines. These are wines that you want to give time. You're going to need to decant them. You know, I think at the end of the day, these are wines that are, some might consider more cerebral and not easy. So if you're just like fresh, fruity, drink it by the pool kind of wine drinker, that's okay. And those have their place too, because I love those wines. But Xinomavro is definitely more a like elegant, sophisticated. This is a wine that's really good for people who like powerful reds. ones that are earthy, complex, and tannic. Okay. I know my friend Savannah was talking about this beforehand, so I'm going to bring her back up. Do you have a question for me about Cinnamavro?
Yes, I have a few questions for you. So for someone who is not familiar with this grape, what is it similar to? Something that most people might have heard of before, and we've talked about it. And then also, what would you pair this wine with food-wise? We got to get that conversation down.
Of course. First of all, great questions. So a lot of people in the wine world love Nebbiolo, right? It's the grape behind Barolo and Barbaresco, some of the most famous wines of northern Italy. And, you know, this has a lot of the same components. It has high acid, it has high tannin, it has a lot of complex aromatics and flavors that are not necessarily so fruit driven. They're a little more earthy. They're a little more savory. The wines are ageable, and they're not usually very nice to consume when young. And so I would really tell people, if you're a Nebbiolo fan, if you're a fan of the wines of Barolo and Barbaresco, then this is a wine for you. It's somewhere, I would say it's somewhere between a Pinot Noir and a Nebbiolo, but much closer to Nebbiolo on that spectrum, because I think Pinot Noirs a lot of times can still carry very fruit-driven profiles. And for me, Cinnamavro is much more like Nebbiolo. So that's the first question. Second question, in terms of food, guys, I am straight down the middle mushroom risotto. Like, you want like earthy, right? That's the mushroom part. You want to get the earthy piece to complement, but then the risotto, the richness of the risotto aspect of that dish, right? It's, of course, it's all together. It's mushroom risotto, but like the flavors of the mushroom matching with the earthy notes of the wine, but then the structure of the wine with the high tannin and high acid will do a really good job of cutting through the richness of the risotto. So for me, this is mushroom risotto 100%, and I need somebody else to come cook it for me because I don't know how to do a good risotto, y'all. That's for real. That's one of my things I love to order at a really good restaurant that makes good risotto, because it's so hard to make at home. Thank you, Savannah, for the great questions about Cinnamavro. We have to move on to the white grape. I'm going to move our map a second, so let me hop over there. So watch the map move, guys. We are going to go south, right? And, you know, when we go south, we get to another peninsula. You guys see Athens there at the tip of the mainland. And then we're going to get into all of these islands. We're not going to go as far south as Crete, but I want you to notice what's right here in the middle. The very famous vacation hotspot of Santorini. Okay, so we talked about the red grape is Cinnamavro. The white grape, I want everybody to know and learn, if you don't already know this, is Assyrtiko. Okay, so let me put this in the comments and put it up on the screen so everybody can practice saying it. All right, here we go. Boom. Assyrtiko, guys, Assyrtiko. And it is very famously from the island of Santorini. Now, they do grow it in other places, but Santorini is the motherland of this grape. Love, love, love this wine. Let's talk for a second about where it is. So it's Santorini, guys. Santorini is a volcanic island. You have very sandy soils. You also, because the soils are sandy, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, the vines are still on their original root systems. Okay, remember phylloxera came and wiped out like all the vineyards of the world? Well, not all. You know, we're talking like 95%. That 5%, a lot of them were on sandy soils. Phylloxera, the louse that attacks the roots of the vine, cannot survive in sandy soil. So the Assyrtiko vines are still on their original root systems. So that is incredible, all right? So second of all, you need to know, what does it taste like? D, why do we care about another grape? Guys, this is a killer wine. This is right down the middle of the wines that I love to drink and will drink every day for the rest of my life. Lemon lime, so you got that like citrus note, like tart citrus, mineral, little bit of white flower sometimes, and a slight saltiness. And that's it, really. Like, this wine is all about a little bit of citrus, a little bit of mineral, not by a lot of mineral, and some saltiness. So again, we're not talking about a fruit bomb of a white wine. These are going to be, however, very powerful and intense wines. So because this is on an island, you can imagine how much sunshine they're going to get. It's quite warm in the Mediterranean, so the alcohol is going to go up, but the grape variety itself maintains its acidity. And so despite, usually those are opposites, right? When the warm temperatures and the sunlight bring up the sugar levels, which ultimately means more alcohol, the acid levels begin to fall. Well, if you have a grape variety that's good about holding its acid, you can still get the sugar, and by that I mean alcohol levels up, the intensity of the wine up, but maintain the acid. So these are considered very powerful white wines. They also bring a lot of texture. A lot of that has to do with the thickness of the skins. They get battered by the wind a lot, so they have a little bit thicker skins. And because the alcohol is higher, alcohol, higher viscosity means more weight on your palate. Okay, so big, powerful white wines that are intense in flavor, but have intensity like the things that I love, you know, like I want a refreshing high acid lemon lime kind of wine that's going to cut through things. I'm going to bring Savannah back up here as my key question asker. Ask a question asker. What should we be thinking about?
Okay, so I'm just wondering if you had to pick your favorite Assyrtiko wine, which would you pick if I'm out looking for one? Because this sounds delicious, and now I need a bottle, like stat.
Woo! Okay, let's see if I can remember the name. Dadgum, it starts with an S. Somebody out there is going to beat me to this. I'm going to have to come back into the comments after I have a chance to search for it. It starts with an S. I think it's like S-A. Gosh, I should have come with my producer. This is like rule number 1 for a Somm is like not to come with a producer name. Sagas or I can't. If it's either S-A-L or S-A-G, somebody out there is going to pop it into the comments. I'm going to be like, that's the one.
I think someone just put one.
Say it again.
So I think someone just put one in the comments.
They said Santorini. I mean, yes, the wine is from Santorini, but that's not the name of the producer. Yeah, so I think for me, Sagalas, maybe that's it. Somebody can Google Sagalas or something like that, and let me know. I think that might be the name of it. I don't have time to search for it right now because I want to keep going, but they are a very famous Assyrtiko producer. They've been doing it for many, 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 many years and are widely considered to make both a wide range. So they have like entry level, mid level, and like premium. So you can spend as little as like maybe $25. There it is. I think Marina got it. Sigalas, Marina Edwards for the win. Whoever you are, I love you. This is a famous producer that you guys need to know about. Go look for them. Know that their wines are going to be a little more expensive. And maybe let's talk about why. But before I talk about why they're more expensive and why they're so intense, because the third thing I want you to learn today is the vine training system, and that's a part of it. What was your other question?
So someone actually asked the same question in the comments. Have you been to Greece before, Dee? And if you have, what vineyard would you recommend going to?
Wow. Okay. So first of all, no, unfortunately I have not. I do have a few reports. So it's on my very, 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 very short list. I've heard incredible things. Also, like, who doesn't want a vacation in Santorini? Right. Come on. I can sit by the pool or the water all day and drink wine in the sun. Like, come on. I don't need to hike. I don't need to have journeys anywhere. Just like, let me chill by the pool in my little swim up, whatever villa thing that they have in the white. I was like, all I remember about Santorini is white rocks and blue paint, to help like reflect the intense sun. But we're going to learn something else you need to know about Santorini. I think this is one of the reasons I want to go to Santorini, is I really, really, really want to go see these vines that are crazy. I will say this, Nausa, because of the Sina Mavro vineyards, I've heard is also beautiful. Like, so if you have the time, do a little bit in the Macedonia region. So not the country of Macedonia, y'all. This is a region of northern Greece that's called Macedonia. So Nausa is within that region in northern Greece. So start there and then finish, because you don't want to start in Santorini and then go to like the mainland and have to walk around. You know, finish your vacation on Santorini and go check out the Sirtiko vineyards. And let's take a look at this picture. So I'm going to pull this screen down, and I got to re-share my screen so y'all can see this really special vine training system. I'm going to show you the close-up first. Check this out, y'all.
Whoa.
Now, if you have to say what that reminds you of, what would you say, Savannah?
Does it remind me of?
Yeah, like what other? I'm thinking of something very specific. Like, yeah, like where else would you see like wood or sticks or something like that in that kind of formation?
Okay, don't laugh, but I'm thinking a bird's nest.
Yeah, 100%, like a bird's nest. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I didn't know if that's what you were looking for or not, so I was hesitant to tell you.
Hey, you know, it's not necessarily what I'm looking for. You know, I think we all can kind of see this. So, guys, there's a name for this. It does look like a bird nest, and Catherine Flanagan has got my other one here. It looks like a wreath. Guys, so they actually describe this. Koulura, and again, I'm sorry about the pronunciation for you Greek folk out there. Koulura is the wreath-like basket vine training on Santorini. Guys, that is a grapevine that is growing a Sirtiko. Let me say that again. And Jeffrey is making me laugh with his puns in the comments. Stop that. Koulura is the name of the wreath-like basket vine training in Santorini. Guys, this is a legit, this is how the vines look. And let me show you this. This is what a vineyard looks like on the island of Santorini. So if you can imagine a whole bunch of those, check that out. Isn't that incredible? You know, and I'm going to zoom out here. Look at that, y'all. It's on the top of a volcanic island. It's like basket after basket after basket. They almost look like tumbleweeds too, if you notice that. And Jeff Barnett's trying to steal my thunder in the comments. You guys are like more wine nerdery than I am. Yes, this indeed is an important piece about protecting the grapes. So you create that wreath-like bird's nest. They call it like a basket. They actually call this the basket vine training. And when the clusters form, the winemakers come around, the wine growers come around and make sure that they grow to the inside of the basket so that they're protected from the really strong winds. Now, why does this matter to us who are wine drinkers? Like, why do we give a crap about what these little baskets look like and why they're cool and all that? So let's talk about that. First of all, phylloxera, like I said, never made it to this island to cause problems. So all of these vines, because they are vines, are on their original root systems that are hundreds of years old. So you can imagine below that topsoil, these vines are way, 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 way deep and way, way, way spread out. And the way that they grow new vines is they actually take one strand of one of the baskets, they bury it under the sand, and then the next growing season, a new little piece of that vine that's from the mother vine will pop up out of the soil and begin a whole nother basket. And so there's this incredible shared root system with all of these vines in these individual vineyards that go back hundreds and hundreds of years. Now, you and I both know that when folks get older, when people get older, a lot of times they have a lot less to say. But what they do have to say is a lot more complex and full of wisdom. And the same thing with grapevines. With age, they're not going to produce as many grapes, as many clusters. The grapes are going to be much smaller. So the concentration of aromatics and everything else is going to be high. So less clusters, smaller berries, and overall higher intensity. And a lot of that's caused from, really nerdy term, you all ready for this? Hydric stress. Guys, hydric stress means water stress, meaning they don't get a lot of rain, and because of the intense winds, the grapes get dried out. So when we're talking about these wines and why they might be a few more dollars per bottle, you have to remember hundreds and hundreds of year-old vines. They're very hard to grow. The farmers who grow them don't get a lot of fruit. The berries that they get on of those fruit are very tiny, and so the amount of wine that they can make is very small. However, it makes very intense wines that are full of character and full of history and are just stinking delicious. So crazy soils from volcanoes, intense wind, hydric stress, and the age of these vines, as well as these vine training systems, lead to very intense wines made from Assyrtiko on the island of Santorini. Gosh, that was a lot, guys. I'm going to bring Savannah back up. She's enjoying her sway.
Yeah.
Savannah, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you a question. If you're going to go get a Greek wine, do you think you're going to go more for the Casina Mavro or the Assyrtiko, and why?
Oh man, if you pick one, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go more in the white direction because I'm just sitting out here on my deck and I'm just really craving a bottle, and your description of it just made me want it that much more, like the lemon lime zest. But I don't know. I mean, they both sound delicious.
Yeah.
It's not an okay question to ask. I want both.
Hey, and you know what? I think that we need to be talking about more of that. Just because people give you two options doesn't mean you have to choose. Like, hey, there's a lot of false dichotomies in the world. We can have both, okay? We don't have to pick A or B. Thank you, Savannah, for all your great question asking and helping me figure out what else the people need to know about. I think one of the good questions you asked for Casina Mavro that I maybe didn't touch on about Assyrtiko is like, what other wines are these like? So if you're a fan of Albarino from Spain, or if you're a fan of Grüner Veltliner from Austria, Assyrtiko is going to be right up your alley. But man, it's going to be even more intense and like delicious, I think, than even some of those wines are. So, thank you so much, Savannah. I will see you a little bit later, guys. How about that for a stinking lot of wine nerdery? So I want to make sure that we don't go any further. You've learned about a red grape, Casina Mavro, a white grape, Assyrtiko, and you've learned about the Calura system that they use to grow the Assyrtiko grapes on the island of Santorini. You guys are pretty much Greek wine experts now and probably know more about Greek wine than probably, 85%, maybe 90% of the wine drinking world. Greece is still very much an up-and-coming region, and you can still get wines at a really good value for the quality of wine that they are. So I do encourage you to explore them, try them, go make some mushroom risotto with the Casina Mavro, get some seafood. You want oysters, you want fish, you want clams, shellfish are going to be like your cup of tea, maybe even some octopus with Assyrtiko. All those coastal foods that you love, fresh seafood and Assyrtiko are like a dream come true. Okay. Y'all, this has been a ton of fun. Obviously, like you can tell that I love teaching, and I'm, not sorry about taking back my wine nerd spot from all my friends who've been joining us. Tomorrow, we are going to bring my friend Molly Ostad on. She is in Houston at Papa's Brothers Steakhouse. She has an immense knowledge of wine. She's formerly worked here at Jeffrey's in Austin, and she is an outspoken advocate of big white wines. And so we are naming tomorrow's episodes, I Like Big Whites and I Cannot Lie. And you are going to be very much having a lot of fun, and you need to tune in tomorrow to see that. So let's talk about these three things before I get ahead of myself. Without further ado, there's a lot going on here. So maybe I'll do these one at a time. Numero de uno. Guys, golden ticket. Daddy, I want a golden egg. Well, you should want a golden ticket because that means a stay at the Highway House. That means barrel tasting with Chris. That means food and wine pairing with Chef Ty when we're ready to open back up and welcome you to the property. Go get it, guys. 2 of them are out there in the world, but that still means that there are 2 more that are either going out in shipping or curbside pickup. And I believe 1 is still being given away during the virtual tasting on Friday, meaning if you got a package without it, you still need to get your virtual tasting pack or tune in if you already got yours. So go get your virtual tasting pack. All the information that you need is right there. Second, a lot of you have been wanting our Wanderers Series relief wine. Cool story is we are sold out on our website. That means tens of thousands of dollars that you guys helped us raise from the purchase of these bottles is going to Southern Smoke to support the restaurant industry. But that also means you need to know where to get it because you can't get it on our website anymore. So we've actually started adding what places you can get it. Things like H-E-B and Twin Liquors and local restaurants who bought it because they want you to buy it. So go support your local stores, go support your local restaurants, go find out on that web link that's right there in the comments where you can find the relief wine, okay? So go get it. Go help us raise even more money for Southern Smoke. Last and certainly not least, we have what's happening tomorrow, which I kind of already gave away to you. So let's talk about that. We're going to be drinking what? I get to drink Pet Nat tomorrow, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm still a little bitter. Back in the early days of Happy Hour, Chris did that Friday Pet Nat party with Catherine. And so guess who hasn't been able to do Pet Nat on his Happy Hour yet? This guy. So that ends tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. I will probably bathe in it, and I'm going to do it on purpose. Like, I'm going to shake it up and do all the things you're not supposed to do when opening the Pet Nat. I'll put on goggles, and I'll drink it straight from the bottle. You'll see me in a bathing suit, just like if I can find an extra one, just pouring it all over me. I won't care because I get to have my own Pet Nat party. Okay, Chris? Anyway, sorry, guys. Right here tomorrow, my friend Molly's going to join us. We're going to talk about those big white wines, and we cannot lie. So see you right here at 5 o'clock. It's been a joy. I'm going to bring Savannah back up here. Savannah, I am selfishly also going to lead the cheers. So I'm leading the wine night section. I'm leading the cheers, just like I'm taking over Happy Hour again. Guys, my dad is just recently retired from the National Guard. We had a flyover here in Austin from some military folks. There are a lot of armed services folks out there in the world who are doing work behind the scenes to serve us, to set up temporary hospitals and testing sites, do a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't even know about. And so I just want to say thank you and cheers to all our armed services folks out there in the world for everything that you're doing. Cheers, guys. We'll see you tomorrow at 5. Cheers, Savannah.
Cheers. Great cheers, D.
See you guys mañana.